Greetings, everyone. I'm going to comment on the shooting of Stephon Clark. By now, everybody know exactly who that is and how the District Attorney for Sacramento, California, did not pursue criminal charges against the police officers that shot and killed Stephon Clark. Just to bring you up to speed, Stephon Clark is a black man, 22-year-old man that was shot and killed in Meadowview, Sacramento, California, by two officers of the Sacramento Police Department. The officers were pursuing Clark because he was allegedly busting windows, I guess out of cars or houses or whatever the case. But when officers confronted him, Stephon Clark reportedly took off running. Officers gave chase, and to make a long story short, officers being heard on the video camera saying, raise your hands, basically can't see you, raise your hands. When Stephon Clark, I guess when he raised his hands, they saw an object in his hand where the police officers assumed that it was a weapon, and they shot 20 times. 7 of the shots was shot when they did the autopsy was in his back. One of the shots, according to the autopsy report, appears to be shot when he was laying down on the ground. But my whole point is, and just like everybody else, I'm not gonna go really into detail into it. My whole point is this: if you shoot somebody in the back, how can you fear for your life if their back is turned towards you? I'm still trying to get this wrapped around my head. How can you fear for your life if you shoot somebody in the back? Which means one thing: he was facing away from you. He was running or whatever the case, but he was not pointing at you or facing you. And that's the part that's really got me really confused of how the DA could make an assumption like that or making a ruling like that to not charge these police officers for killing this unarmed black man, when it turns out that object that they saw was a cell phone. As a matter of fact, it was his fiancée or his girlfriend's cell phone. And the part that really disturbs me is police officers are trained to give first aid. You shot this man 7 times, 8 times. You waited 5 minutes before you even attempted to give him first aid. He probably was already dead at that point. And that's the part that's killing me, because these police officers are supposed to protect and serve. Okay, even in the military, on the battlefield, our medics, if they see, yes, they're gonna attend to the U.S. service member first. But I've seen many times, even when I was in Iraq, where our medics took care of the insurgents that we was fighting. We had many times I've transported them to our base, and they took care of them, and then they transferred them to another base for confinement. If we can do that, then why not the cops can't do that? It's as simple as that. And see if you can give this man first aid. But you didn't. So he ended up passing. Or being killed. Murdered. That's what I should say. To make a long story short, the DA is really a trip when it comes to protecting their own. The DA always, for some reason, to justify why they ruled against not charging these police officers, they want to try to paint a picture of how bad this person was, rather than facing the simple fact that this man was shot in the back 7 times, and 1 time while he was on the ground. But they want to paint a picture to the American people, because you got to understand one thing here. The media is going to continue to play this over and over again. The media is very powerful. Everybody's going to see this. Everybody's going to get brainwashed to the fact that this man did this, did that, did this. What does that have to do with this situation? That's my whole point. It doesn't matter what he did in the past. It doesn't. And if you're looking at this video and you got any type of common sense, you would know that this is absolutely true what I'm saying. What does his past have to do with him getting shot and killed by police officers, especially being unarmed? What does that have to do with anything? Did they bring that up when they got ready to shoot him? That, oh, you got a doggone criminal record. Let me go ahead and shoot you because you got a criminal record. America is really screwed up. Our laws protect the police officers who did something that's wrong. I mean, case point, look at the police officer that was in Charleston that killed the unarmed black man in Charleston, running away from him on video. He ended up getting, 20 years? I think it was Walter Scott case. That police officer got 20 years for killing that unarmed black man who was running away from him. This video that they have on their body cam and also the helicopter shows that Stephon Clark was running away from him. How can we do this in America? How can we rule on one doggone incident and tell me that we couldn't rule on this incident? You see, our people, black people, we're tired of this. We're tired of being shot down in the street like a dog. We're tired of it. We're tired of paying our tax money for police officers to shoot us. It's sort of like an extermination, like Hitler's extermination camp. Because every time police officers see a black man that looks suspicious, their antenna goes on. And that black man can be completely honest. Nothing wrong with him. But yet, because you fear for your life, it's your justification to pull your weapon out and shoot. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that a police officer don't fear for their life. But under what circumstances do you fear for your life? Every single time you see a black man, you fear for your life? You the one that's holding the weapon. You normally have a partner with you, so you have the maximum advantage point in any situation that comes up. Again, I'm not knocking police officers. I know they have a rough time out there in certain sections of the United States. I know this. But what I am knocking is that 10% of officers that make these ill-advised decisions on shoot first and then ask questions later. It's a slippery slope. But the fact is, we are getting completely tired of this. Stephon Clark's family blasted the DA for even bringing that stuff out. What does that matter? That Stephon Clark did this or did that. I'm glad they blasted him out. That DA, in my opinion, this is my opinion, that DA should be relieved of duty. In the military, that terms mean fired. A DA should be completely fired, because you cannot tell me cannot convince me any other way that these police officers should be on the force and should not be charged with murder. Because the DA brought up the history between Stephon and his girlfriend about domestic violence, it still has nothing to do with why the police officer shot him. That's between him and his wife. Now, I'm not advocating, so don't get me wrong and don't twist it. I'm not advocating that domestic violence is good and acceptable, because it's not. But again, that's between him, his family, and his girlfriend's family. They could have worked that out, or they could have just broke up. It doesn't matter. What matters is the police officer shot an unarmed black man, killed him, murdered him. That's the correct term. And for the DA to do this is really appalling. What honest sense did it make for you to try to paint a picture of this man in a negative way? He's already dead. Why would you do it? It's a slap in the face. You know, I'm a big reader of Malcolm X. I read a lot of his books. I read a lot of his speeches that he did while he was, the leader of the nation of, well, not the leader, but the national speaker of the Nation of Islam and Muslim Mosques Inc. He says a lot of things in his speeches and his books, and those things are still relevant today about police brutality, about people that's in leadership positions that really don't give a dang about you or me, or people that looks like you or me. They really don't. And it's just something that we just have to continue to work on in the United States. And this is ridiculous to even say something that we have to work on in the United States. This stuff should be already solved. The Constitution gives that right to every citizen, equal protection under the law. And our tax monies are paying for people to murder us. Cops, legal murder. It's simply illegal because you get off. If you can't take it to trial, you can't charge them. You can't put them in jail. And that's what this DA did. So I would say that the family should sue the living crap out of them if they can. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any type of law degree or anything of that nature. So I really don't know exactly what the family is going to do or what type of legal stuff that they can do. But I hope it's something that's significant that shows them that we're tired of this. I really hope they sue the living crap out of them. I hope that can happen for them. You know, simple fact that you get let this bend somebody else of a different stature, of a different color. Just look what they did in Dalen Roof. He murdered 7 parishioners in Charleston. And he told them that he was hungry. And they took him to get something to eat before they booked him. I'm just saying, it has its privileges. But in the end, we're tired of this. But those that want to understand what's being said, tune in, okay? Tune in to my YouTube channel. Tune in to other people's YouTube channel and see what's going on. I talk about a lot of stuff that affects the black community. But this one right here is it's appalling, and it's just really baffling to me how they can just kill this man with no accountability? I just don't know. I am just at a point where my brain hurts just trying to figure this stuff out. Hey people, the best way that I think, in my opinion, the best way to change things is to get people out of office that is in office that is not for you. The only way you can do that is to vote. Vote their asses out of office so you can change the laws that would benefit you as well. It should benefit everyone, but for a long time, we have been left on the outside. We made a little bit of stride, but for the most part, we're still on the outside. I give two shits about people that make comments that is negative, because the majority of people that watch this know that this is not a negative YouTube video. It's actual facts. So the ones that going to make those negative comments are pretty much the white supremacists. Those are the ones that always make the negative comments because they love seeing unarmed black men killed. That's what they love seeing. We don't love seeing that. It is when a black unarmed person or any black person is killed, it's like a piece of us. It's going with them. It doesn't matter to these white supremacists because it's not their family that's being affected by it. Let that be somebody's family of that persuasion. It's a totally different ball game. You cannot judge someone if you haven't lived that life that person has lived. And this is not something to be happy about. It is a statistic that this family does not want to be in. It is a piece of history that this family does not want to be in, and that is police officers killing an unarmed black man. That is not an honor. That is a tragedy. I hope this video can go to the right people. And I hope this video can shed a little bit of light or a little bit of relief on the tragedy that has happened. It is like killing them all over again when this DA made this decision. I personally think sometimes that the DA have too much power to outright say that a person cannot be charged with something that they did that was wrong. She knows it. The whole world knows it. We need to change this stuff. It may not happen in our lifetime, but it should happen, hopefully, for our grandchildren and their children to live in a society where you're not judged by the color of your skin, but by the contents of your character, as said Martin Luther King. What would they do, or what would they say if they was alive today? Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Maybe we'll have a different world, or a different United States of America. I don't know, people. Hey, people, if you like the content that I'm bringing you, please subscribe. I am really trying to grow this channel, trying to reach out. I will be bringing to you some YouTube videos that I personally do enjoy. It's going to be the 100 African Americans who helped shape this country. And I will be bringing that to you pretty soon. I think the very first one I'll be doing within a week or 2 weeks. So it's 100 people. So I'm gonna probably have 100 videos because I'm gonna take my time and do my research to make these videos. Hey people, again, make your comments and I will respond back. Like it, view it. Hopefully you view it all the way through, and subscribe to me so we can bring a lot of attention to things like this. YouTube is a big platform. A lot of people watches it. So thank you if you watch this video all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next video.